Welcome to 7 Urban Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, fitness. Today, we begin our look at high school football in the Cooley region. We are looking specifically at the Aquinas Blue Goals. We're going to find out a lot about the new look, the new face, and what's happening with the Blue Goals. Our guest today, Coach Tom Lee, one of our favorites, by the way, been on the show, I think, since he took the job 7 years ago, along with Gavin Wetzel and of course, Ethan Roupe. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
As we tape the show here in late July, you're just a few days away from training camp. Let's explore that a little bit. I know a lot of our viewers like, what's going on with training camp? What are the changes over the years? What are the goals? How do high school programs develop their training camp?
Well, I think more than anything, you just want to get better. Like, you got to start from nothing and build it into something within just a couple weeks and make it look functional. For us, we're shaking things up a little bit. We've been going afternoons, evenings, the last couple seasons, basically because my assistant coaches wouldn't quit their day jobs for potentially hundreds of dollars of coaching. But we decided we're going to go in the mornings. We're actually going to throw 1-2 a day in there so we can do some special teams in an evening. We need to do some stuff different. We want different results, and we want to do different things to try and get different results.
But the two-a-days and the approach from when I played and when you played is different now. The restrictions, the oversight, quite a few changes?
Yeah, you don't beat kids up. I mean, it's not the Junction Boys, you want to keep your kids healthy. I think as much as anything, it's a neck up. And you get your conditioning within the drills we do, running from station to station, rather than turning it into cross-country practice, because no offense to cross-country, it's an awesome sport, but these guys don't want to do that. They want to play football.
A couple of things that I've read with different authors. One, they say high school football training camp starts too early. So one of the reasons some kids choose not to go out is because essentially 1/3 of their summer is used up by getting ready for football, because your first game, and sometimes in the past, more than the first game, is before school starts. Is that a concern?
It is. I think Wisconsin has tried to address that a little bit. The last couple seasons, if we started on the day we should have started, it would have been in July. This year, it's going to be on August 5th. And that has a lot to do with just kind of the calendar rotation. I give Minnesota a lot of credit. You know, they're just across the river from us, and I think they're pretty progressive. They start a week after us. You know, they go kind of till Thanksgiving, and I don't know, the world doesn't end. I think that's something that Wisconsin probably needs to continue to look at and develop and maybe evolve a little bit.
I agree. Gavin Wetzel, this is your year to shine, by the way. And for those people that maybe aren't aware, I met Gavin Wetzel way back when he was a youth baseball player in Holman, played against Ethan Roupe, another guest, played against our grandson Julian, and I got to, of course, know his mom and dad extremely well, friends of mine. But this is Gavin's year to shine. You've had injuries, we'll talk about that, but as you look to training camp a few days away, you're going to be a leader. They're going to be looking at you. Goals.
Well, I think change is coming, as in our team and as in our offense and defense. And I guess my goals are to just be successful throughout the whole team, not just as myself. It's all about team. It's all about if I can make everyone kind of involved.
Ethan, this is your year to shine too as a senior. Yeah. And you've had injuries too. We're going to talk about that. Know you, of course, extremely well from playing with our grandson in baseball and other sports, and a friend of the family. But you're sort of on a pedestal now. People are going to be looking at you and kind of emulating perhaps some of the things that you're going to demonstrate in training camp.
Well, I mean, I'm just excited to get to work. I mean, we got a full month. We got a few weeks before the first game. See as much work as we can get in. I mean, see how our team pans out. We still got some positions on both sides of the ball that could go either way for some players. I mean, I really think that just the competition between each players on the team to like fight for their spot instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to play here. I think that's what really could like help us out this year.
Well, you're going to have numbers. You've had injuries before, Coach, and we've talked about that, and we're going to come back to that. But before we do that, this has been an exciting off season for you. And to me, it's a special honor as a friend of you and the family, and seeing you chosen as an all-star team coach, and then having your son on the team. What a special way to spend the month of July.
They wanted Bryce. They got stuck with me as a coach, Terry. But it was really cool. I was familiar with and aware of the All-Star game, but being kind of involved in it, to see what good they do for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Our team, which was the North Small School Division 4, 5, 6, and 7, kids from the northern part of the state, our team alone raised over $100,000 for the Children's Hospital. We were the leading team as far as donors were considered, and they brought out parents and these little kids, and you'd have to be a monster to not be moved by it. You'd have to be a statue to not be moved by it. But it was really a cool experience. They had an outstanding banquet the night before. A gentleman from the Marines spoke, and his message was, get the job done and take care of your people, and how that carries over to football. And I think he had that whole room of 1,100 people in his hand. The week was amazing. How much talent there was, but how great those boys were, and a lot of those guys kind of knew each other. I honestly knew more kids on the North Big School team, and I knew more kids on the team we played against than on our team going in. But just to see that, and the coaches that I got to work with were awesome guys. My phone is blowing up all the time. They're texting junk back and forth, and my wife calls them my new boyfriends and stuff. But that's pretty special. That was a pretty cool thing for us.
Certainly, and it was a cool thing to have Bryce there too. By the way, Bryce was on the show last year, but just so our viewers know, give us a quick little preview of what is ahead for Bryce Lee.
He actually was named team captain when we were there, and put on a great show. One of our assistant coaches wanted to know why he hadn't gotten any D1 offers. He was big last year, and you can see my grocery bill. He's gotten bigger, and he's been lifting and running. He had a really good off season. He'll be heading to Winona State in just a few days here. He's going to start working out, he's talking about, and then they start camp kind of that second week in August. And it'll be great. It'll be great to have him with Coach Sawyer and those assistants over there. I'm more excited for what they'll do for him as far as academics are concerned rather than football. And the football part it'll be what it is, but they build men. They take 18-year-olds and turn them into full-grown men, and that's a really, really awesome experience for our family.
Speaking of academics, both our guests, again, we're today the spotlight on Blue Gold football as we tape the show here in July. Training camp just around the corner. Gavin Wetzel, Ethan Roupe, you are outstanding students too, which is kind of an expectation as a Blue Gold. I mean, the mission statement talks about a Christ-centered education with high expectations, but looking at your profile, Gavin, you excel in the classroom. Does that come natural to you?
No, I think my parents pushed me really hard when I was young, so it just kind of developed. And I'd say now they still do, but it's more me, and I know that that's what it takes to be successful.
And I know also academics is a strong point of Ethan Roupe, a strong point of your goals and who you are, your identity. Do you purposely choose difficult courses to challenge you?
Well, I mean, I'd say I choose a few difficult courses every year. I mean, I want to try to prepare myself for college best I can. I want to try to be able to get good grades to get into the field I want to be able to get into at, like, the different colleges that I'm applying to. So, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of did it on my own, I guess.
Impact. A group of leaders at Aquinas, both involved in that. What is Impact, Gavin?
Impact is like a volunteering service. So basically you put in hours for this club, club. You put in hours for this club that helps the community, whether it be like Meals on Wheels or like helping out at the Children's Museum, any of that kind of stuff.
And you're involved too, and what's your biggest takeaway, Ethan, in being involved in that program?
Well, I mean, it just kind of puts things in perspective that there's a lot of people out there that aren't doing as good as maybe me or Gavin, and I feel like we should help them out,
Playing sports, before we go to our break, just I will often ask our guests, being an athlete is a gift. It's a privilege. You're on a platform. But, there's life lessons. And as you look back prior to your senior year, what are the life lessons you so far have taken away from Aquinas? Gavin, what are the biggest life lessons you think being a Blue Gold athlete?
I think the ability to bounce back, whether it be winning, losing, you should always have character, and I think that's what being a Blue Gold has taught me.
And Ethan?
That's a good point. I mean, we've struggled in a few seasons before, but I mean, last season we squeezed out one win against Toma, and I mean, that was one of the defining moments, I'd say, in our football career. That was one of the funnest games I've ever played.
But athletes rise up, as it says on your shirt, too, Gavin. But athletes, the sign of a true athlete with character is how you react after a loss. How do you react?
I think it definitely hurts. Like, it's not a good feeling. Everything kind of hurts a little bit more, but you definitely feel like you learned more after you lost. You take a different perspective on it.
Ethan, do you look in the mirror and challenge yourself and what your efforts were? Are you hard on yourself after a loss?
I would say I am, but the only thing that I can do is be persistent and work hard. That's the only thing that I can do.
And you do,
try to do my best every day.
And that's what a Blue Gold athlete is. We're going to talk more about culture. We're going to get to know you all a little bit better. But we're going to step aside just for a minute when we come back more here on Seven Rivers Sports.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. We are previewing Aquinas Blue Gold football here this week with Coach Tom Lee, Gavin Wetzel, Ethan Roupe. We talked a little bit about culture the first half of the show, and you talked about some takeaways, Coach Lee, from your experiences as an all-star coach. I read a recent book, and it talked about culture. Talked about culture for teams, and the title of the book is Culture Begins in the Locker Room. How do you do that? How do you develop a culture in the locker room?
Well, I think you always have a culture. It's either one that you push for or one that develops on its own. And we talk about accountability, we talk about availability and character. Like, those are the 3 foundational things in our program. And it is what it is at this point. We certainly would have wanted more wins the last couple seasons. There's no doubt about that. But I'm convinced that the boys, we treated them well. They know we love them. They loved each other. The exit interviews I had with those kids, they got it. And it's something that we start talking about on day one. But we get good, moms and dads do a good job with the kids that we get in. And we're blessed to take those guys and just keep moving forward with that kind of stuff.
We broadcast a lot of your games, as you well know, and this is your 7th year, and you've been on the show 7 times. And I said at the beginning, you're one of our favorites because we appreciate what you do for your student athletes at Aquinas and what you do to help us with our broadcast. So we broadcast many of your games in your 7 years, and one thing I've always said, and I mean this sincerely, that we never, as broadcasters, questioned the effort of a blue gold student athlete on the football field. Sure, you didn't win a lot of games, but I was always complimentary as a broadcaster on effort. Now, moving ahead, you left the MVC, which a lot of people were disappointed because the inner city matchups disappeared.
Me too. I'm disappointed too.
Yeah, because you played against that, and so did I.
Yeah.
So, and now you're in the SWAL for 1 year. I want you to talk about that quickly, and then in the following year, 2020, in a brand new conference.
Yeah, so this will be a new challenge for us. I think the biggest thing is when these guys were playing against somebody, they go, oh, that's Tate, that's Bryce Edwards, that's Johnny and Jordan. Like, they knew the guys. They'll get to know probably the jersey numbers of the guys that are good players. Like, oh, we got to look out for 11. 11's tough, you know, but they won't know the guys. But we like this. We've certainly been pushing for some relief, and we think we're going to be able to compare apples to apples. Our numbers are getting right where they need to be. We knew we were going to have a couple lean seasons leading up to this. And again, I think it goes back to our culture. We're just trying to do the best. Now, the big difference, we're going to be going on 2-hour and 25-minute bus rides rather than 10-minute bus rides, and that'll be an adjustment. The guys are getting out of class. We've never had kids get out of class for athletics, but that's going to change. It's going to have to change. But boys, you're in charge of making sure your grades are right. So.
Well, they probably won't mind getting out of class, but I want our guests to react to that, to what you said about not being familiar with the opponents. Yeah. Starting with Gavin, because you grew up in Holman, you played in that youth program. You won't be seeing those friends and faces anymore. Leaving the MVC, leaving the inner city matchups. Thoughts?
I think it's a lot less intimidating. Like, we knew the players and we knew who they were. Now it's just a number on a back. Like, oh, there's number 12. He's gonna, he's pretty good, but he's not that good.
But see, all of your friends are at home, and that was I'm sure that was one of your favorite opponents. And now there's a player at Logan that I know pretty well. His name is Julian Erickson. And you know all the other players at Logan. Does that bother you not playing the Rangers?
I mean, I would say that it bothers me a little bit, but I think this is better for the program. We're gonna maybe have a little bit more success, grow a little bit more. But I would say that I did really like playing all my friends. I mean, even at the end of the day, win or lose, your buddy would still have respect for you.
Let's go back to your schedule against Tom. Mm-hmm. This year, we're broadcasting a lot of Blue Gold games, including the opener at 12 noon on the 24th, Saturday, the 24th of August at Roger Herring Field against Prairie du Chien.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll be there broadcasting that game. So, and then a couple of non-conference games, but and ending the season against Luther, we're looking forward to that because we're going to broadcast that. But all new competition in the SWAL. Real quickly, the SWAL, what is that? And then the new conference a year later, what is that?
We know a little bit about the SWAL. They're south of us. I know that Mineral Point has a quarterback that if I could adopt him, I would. He's going to go play basketball at UNLV, and he was magical. We saw him in scrimmages. We know that Lancaster, they've got a super successful program with Coach Hoke. Darlington's had a lot of success. So it'll be more our size, but man, we're going to have our work cut out for us, which is great. At our house, easy is a swear word. That's a 4-letter word. We don't like easy. The following year, then, so it's a 1 year only. Then we'll be heading to the revamped Cooley, which is most of the Cooley plus us, and I believe Altoona in there. That'll be a new challenge, and then there's a reason the state of Wisconsin decided to go football-only conferences. Football's a different animal, and we're going to be right where we need to be.
I've been asked this question a few times too. Terry, will Aquinas ever revisit and play an inner-city matchup again in the future? Will Aquinas ever play Logan and Central in the future?
We'd love to. It kind of depends on how their schedules are. You see the Badgers just scheduled Alabama for 2024 and 2025. Those schedules could get a little wonky sometimes. But if it ever is an opportunity, we love it.
A lot of people want that. Rapid fire drill, Gavin Wetzel, 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball. We broadcast all those games. I've seen you play since you were a freshman. Favorite sport?
Probably football.
But you've had a lot of success playing center field in baseball, pitching. You play you play much bigger than what you are as a Blue Gold basketball player. You've been my player of the game a few times, and you've excelled there too.
Yeah, I think basketball is definitely up there. I think football and basketball could go either way. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but I play it.
But you've had success. Your family's always been important behind your success. I see. I've known your dad for decades because he was an exceptional football player for the Logan Rangers. But they're really behind you, aren't you?
Yeah,
aren't they?
They always have been.
Yeah, I see, and I watched that when you were young. What's ahead? Next chapter of your life, several months from now, but you'll move on from the Blue Golds, from high school to college. What's ahead?
I'm hoping to go to Colorado State University and become a mechanical engineer. That's my plan as of right now.
Other options still?
Stout, Wisconsin, and Purdue.
Okay. I mean, if you thought you are a gifted athlete, but you don't want to take your athleticism to another level, huh?
I've thought about it. I guess I could. Right. I guess I might, but I don't really see myself doing it.
Again, our guest, the Blue Golds today, we're talking to Gavin Wetzel, Ethan Roupe, and Coach Tom Lee. And so, Ethan, family's always been a special part of your athletic experiences too.
Yeah, I mean, my father used to push me to do a lot, work a lot in the off season, work on what I need to do to be better when I can be. He'd probably be my role model if I had one.
You do have one. That's him.
Yeah.
And your role model, I think, is your dad too, eh, Gavin?
Yeah.
So, but Ethan, you're going to be graduating a few months from now, and where's that going to take you?
I'm actually trying to look into going into engineering too. I actually was looking at Colorado State, so I might have to deal with him. We'll see. But I was looking at Colorado State, maybe UW-Madison if I could get in. Some other ones too, but we'll see.
Let's go down the yellow brick road of the memory lane when you were younger. Some defining moments when you started playing sports.
I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of memories with BGC, Julian on that youth baseball team. That was a lot of fun. But
and your dad coaching, and you won a lot of games, but you developed friendships, which is more important.
Yeah, exactly.
And you had a lot of success too. And let's reflect a little bit on when you grew up. You have some defining moments, Gavin?
I think it's more the camaraderie that you remember. You don't really remember the team or the defining moments in like the games as you grew up. You remember what you did in the hotel afterwards or that kind of stuff. The more fun stuff.
Hobbies. What does Ethan Roupe like to do when he's not studying or practicing?
I mean, I like to do a lot of different water sports with my family. We got a boat. We go out and do some fishing, maybe water skiing, whatever.
And our viewers probably don't know that you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I actually run a small lawn mowing business on my street on 1616 Nokomis Avenue. So if there's anyone out there on Nokomis Avenue that needs their lawn mowed, just let me know.
Or, wait a minute now, not just Nokomis Avenue, Cherokee,
I have
and
a few,
you can.
yeah.
There's other streets on French Island in La Crosse.
That's true. Yeah, I have one. I don't think I have one on Cherokee, but I have one near Cherokee.
Gavin, hobbies, what do you like to do?
I like a bunch of sports, even the ones I don't play that are fun to play. Frisbee, soccer, all them, even if I'm just goofing around.
And hunting?
Hunting, scuba diving. I'm a certified scuba diver.
Whoa, that's something people didn't know. I don't even think Coach Lee knew that.
I did not know that.
Certified scuba diver. So you learned here or you learned in the ocean?
I did it in the ocean first, came back, and when I was 10, I got certified at Marine Landing on Alaska.
Good. Real quickly, before we come back to Coach Lee and end the show, one of the things I've really been impressed with both of you is the fact you've had serious injuries. I've seen those injuries. Yet you've bounced back and you've become a better athlete and a better person as a result of it. one of your serious injuries was in baseball this year.
Yeah, so I had some rotator cuff issues, and I think I played 2 or 3 games right in the beginning of March, and then I think it was my first or second start, I don't remember, pitching. And I had like a little bit of pain in my shoulder, and I didn't really think much of it. And then I went to the doctor. Turns out I had some growth plate issues. They thought it was like my growth plate, but it actually was in my rotator cuff deep in there, so I ended up not really playing in the field for the rest of the year for that spring season.
Gavin, you had a serious injury in football last year, and you've recovered. You've missed part of basketball. Has that changed you?
I think it changed me in just the perspective that I was supposed to miss all of it, and I only missed a third of it. I think it taught me that no matter what, you can always work hard enough and beat something.
Yeah, and that's why you're on the show, because you're so impressive to me and to I'm sure to our viewers. As we end the show, you lost some players. You lost your son who graduated, Brandon Murfelt and John Salvadelli. But you have a lot of good athletes coming back, including another one of your sons, Aiden, and these two, of course.
Yeah. We like our young kids that have been coming through. We're probably going to have to play some sophomores, but we're talking about being able to start maybe 16 or 17 kids. We think that'll be a big thing for us. We'll have times where we can put packages in with fresh guys and get good guys covering kicks. That'll be a big change for us. The numbers being what they are and what they've been is going to be a pretty drastic change for us.
What would be a successful season for you? Wins and losses?
We really want to get in the playoffs. And that's not, we don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. We don't think that's arrogant. We want to get in the playoffs.
500 or above?
Yep.
Okay, because 500 teams, some teams on that bubble, on that threshold, get in.
Yeah, we'll be the above if we get a choice. We'll take above, Terry.
And you know what? If that happens, which I have no doubt that there's a strong possibility, then we might be just covering that game. But again, we'll be covering a lot of Blue Gold football games here on KQEG, and we really enjoy it. So our guest today, we're beginning our look at high school football with the Blue Golds. Our first guests, Coach Tom Lee, Gavin Wetzel, and Ethan Roupe. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you for having us, Terry.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. This week we profiled Aquinas High School football head coach Tom Lee, along with 2 seniors, Gavin Wetzel and Ethan Roupe. Speaking of football, we begin our coverage this week. Thursday, Eau Claire North Huskies at La Crosse Central on the campus of Central High School. And 2 games on Friday, Chippewa Falls at Holman and GET at West Salem. And then on Saturday, we will be at Roger Herring Field on the campus of UWL as Aquinas opens their season against Prairie du Chien. Big Major League Fishing Tournament this week in La Crosse. Headquarters at the Omni Center in Onalaska. $300,000 in prize money for those top fishermen. Also nationally televised, so this is a big event. We encourage you to try and attend. It runs through Sunday on the Mississippi River. Check your local listings as we continue to bring you Knights of Thunder Racing every Thursday and Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us this week. Next week, we continue our coverage as we profile Logan High School football with 4 seniors, Max Harsey, Julian Erickson, Alex Gavrilos, and Harper Jankowski. Till next week, I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.